Yeah. Hare Krishna, Virendra Prabhu and Vega Mataji. Last time I couldn't go live, so I just tried to go live now itself. Video is going off, I don't know why. So we'll just do japa for 10 minutes and then we'll start the class. Hopefully others will join by then. We can do japa and then we can do kirtan also. So anybody would like to join? Hare Krishna, Vega Mataji. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे राम कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण हरे राम हरे हरे, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Ram. We finish one round of chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Am I audible? Hare Krishna, am I audible?
Hare Krishna, madam, audible.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
So I thank you all for joining the level 2 class of chapter 2. Actually, spiritual knowledge is something which we need to always be in association with. So just continue, being together and discussing the Gita is very, very important. Otherwise, Maya is so powerful that we will never know when we will slide back into, being living entirely in the material existence. So that is the reason why this is really important. So, on behalf of the ISKCON Mangalore Shri Radha Govinda Temple and Namnishra Prabhu, I invite all of you for the level 2, chapter 2 class. The chapter 2 is contents of the Gita summarized. It's a summary of the entire Bhagavad Gita. So, within today and tomorrow, we will be actually doing the entire Bhagavad Gita together. It's like the entire summary. All the key concepts will be covered. So let's begin. Before I start, I want to share that last time I was talking about Arjuna's feeling, all those symptoms that he was experiencing, and I had shared that the same kind of symptoms are experienced also in spiritual ecstasy. So all those description which was given, and I was trying to recollect the shloka, which is there in Shishtashtakam. So that shloka is Nayanam Galadashrudharaya Vadanam Gadgadaruddhaya Gira Pulakairnichitam Vapukkada Tavanama Grahani Bhavishyati. So the highly advanced spiritual devotees, they experience the same similar kind of symptoms which Arjuna experienced when he was in indecision. So that verse I was not able to recollect. So I thought I'll begin the class with that. In fact, we are also revising chapter 1 as we go today. So let's just quickly go through what we had done yesterday in chapter 1 after offering our prayers to Shri Radha Govinda temple. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नाम्ने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाशार्य देशधारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So chapter 1, we have discussed from 1 till 1.27 last week about the preparations for war and how Arjuna actually, he asks Krishna, he says, Senayor Ubhayor Madhye Ratham Sthapayam Achyute. So he says, Ratham Sthapayam Achyute. So he talks about Krishna as Achyuta in this verse. And we had a lot of description about how Krishna, by calling him Achyuta, infallible. Arjuna shows his knowledge of who is Krishna really, right? And he knows already. And this devotee special relationship where he's able to command the Lord, this is it shows the status of Arjuna as a highly elevated devotee. It's a very unique relationship. Unlike the Mayavadis who try to merge They are trying for Sayujya Mukti, and that is, a much inferior position. Instead, of reaching a position of a devotee like Arjuna, where you're in a position to actually command the Lord, and the Lord actually loves it when his devotees reach that position, because he loves it when Yashoda is running after him or is scolding him, rebuking him. He loves those personal, nice relationships when the Gopas are coming with him and they are playing with him, and then they go and relate, what, today Krishna lost the game with me. So those kind of very close, intimate, loving relationships where the devotee is able to actually command the Lord is a very special, highly elevated position. So we're able to see that. And the liberation, talk about liberation, there are 5 types of liberation, right? Basically, there is a Sayujya Bhakti, which the Mayavadis are striving for. And the Vaishnavas basically try for the other 4, that is Sarupya, Salokya, Sashti, and Samipya. So, and in fact, those who are really, into devotion, pure bhakti, they are in higher still. They don't want any kind of mukti at all, right? So, for example, in Shishtastakam again, we have this verse which says, Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam va jagadisha kamaye. So, the true devotee actually doesn't ask for any kind of gain, even material gain or even spiritual gain. So asking for spiritual gain sometimes we feel is good because we can have spiritual desires. But once you reach the pure stage of devotion, you just want to be offering devotional service all the time, and you're not bothered about any kind of spiritual or material, both kind of gains. Example, in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1:1:11, there is this verse which says, Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karma dhyanavritam anukulena krishnanu sheelanam bhakti uttama. So, uttama bhakti is anyabhilashita shunya, which means absolutely no other desire except to serve the Lord. So again, we have in the Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.6, we have Sarve Pumsam paro dharmo yato bhakti radhokshaji. So it's talking about how, certainly for mankind, paro dharma, transcendental or sublime kind of devotional service which is offered is the highest. So when we're talking about Narayana, we are talking, there's a reference of Nirakara. So we are talking about Narayana, Lord who has a form. But still, why is it said Nirakara? Here, Nirakara, we need to understand, is really important to understand that Krishna is not having a material body. His body is spiritual, it is transcendental. And so that is a reason why, like, our material bodies are Asat, Achit, and Nirananda, whereas Krishna's body is spiritual, it is Sat, Chit, and Ananda. So Krishna's form is like Divyam, it is divine. Janma Karma Chame Divyam, we hear in Bhagavad Gita 4.9. So coming back to the battlefield, I came to all this trying to explain Arjuna's position when he asked Krishna to just ride himself in the middle of the battlefield. And for some time, temporarily, we can see that Arjuna is taking the position of a Go-Khara. So what is a Go-Khara? Go-Khara is basically Go means cows and Khara means asses. So in Srimad Bhagavatam 10.84.13, in one of the lectures of Srila Prabhupada, he talks about the sages when they're teaching, when they're teaching at Kurukshetra, they talk about Yasyatma Buddhi Kunape Tridhatuke Swadhi Kalatradishu Bhauma Ijadhi Yatirtha Buddhi Salile Nakar Hichit Janeshu Bhigneshu Sa Eva Gokharaha. So here it says, Krishna is saying that, in the teachings it is said that Yasyatma, who as his self, Buddhi, idea, he thinks of himself as a body. Punape means a corpse-like body. Actually, in the chapter 1, that's what we mainly learn. That not being able to look at the body, but in chapter 2, I mean to say that we should not look at this body as us. We should be able to understand that we are not this body. So here Krishna is saying that in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that person who has the idea that this body made up of the 3 basic elements, 3 dhatuke, like kapha, pitta, and vayu, these 3 things, if somebody is thinking that that is he, or he has this idea that this is my wife and my children, and that kind of attitude, for such a person, he is actually, just like the cows and asses. So in this case, Arjuna, just for setting the scene for the Bhagavad Gita to be related, Arjuna actually stoops down to the level of becoming a Gokhara, where he's talking about my, guru, my relatives, my grandsire are there, and so I am not able to do these things. So he is in complete material conception for a little time, just under Krishna's, actually, it is all happening under Krishna's control. He is creating such a confusion in Arjuna's mind simply to set the stage for the Bhagavad Gita to come to us, and this Bhagavad Gita, which we are now reading, was given by Krishna to Arjuna 5,000 years ago in the battlefield. And to set the scene, Arjuna had to come to the down to the lower position of a Gokhara, where he had to kind of be confused with the material conception of life. True freedom is when you break free from all illusory attachments altogether. And that is when, you're in spiritual position. So here we can also once more, before we proceed to chapter 2, we can look at the comparison of Duryodhan and Arjun. So we have seen that Duryodhan, who is like, like how Srila Prabhupada talks about the Dushkrito Mudha. So he is actually a mischievous person who does mischievous activities, making people unhappy, happy to see others being sad. So all these, this enviousness is basically the material conception of life, which is Duryodhana basically. He is mostly in Rajogun, whereas Arjuna, he is in Sattvagun. So we are continuously looking at this position of Arjuna, Duryodhana, and others, so that we are ready to understand the Gita, because from here it takes off. So Arjuna is unhappy to see others unhappy. He has no envy. There is no competition. He is 100% pure in heart. He is nirmatsaranam, which means he is above competition. So Arjuna is actually, very pure he is. So that is the position. He's in Sattvagun, he's in pure Sattvagun, and that's why Krishna will elevate him from there and get him to Shuddh Sattvagun. He's actually higher than that, but just for the sake of the deliverance of this Gita to all of us. So let's look at the verse 2.1. And so Arjuna's doubts are there from 1.20 to 1.46. And so coming back to summary, we have seen Arjuna's reasons last time for him to not want to fight. Basically, in 2.6, we will see his indecision. And the reasons he gives is compassion. Like I told you, he's in Sattvagun, so he's feeling very much compassionate for all the Kauravas. In fact, Pandavas also, he knows on their side also, many are going to lose their lives. All will lose except the Pandavas actually. And he talks about enjoyment. He feels that I'm not going to enjoy even if I win or if I lose. Both I'm not going to really enjoy. And then he talks about destruction of family and traditions. And he talks about fear of sinful actions. And Arjuna surrenders to the Lord in 2.6. We are going to see he's in indecision, and 2.7 he will surrender. And thereafter in chapter 2, we will see how Krishna will reveal the highest transcendental knowledge, which is called the para education. So in schools and colleges, we have come along. Some of us have finished school and college long back. Some of you are younger still. But all the education we have learned is all apara. It is all, material. It's only giving us skills which are for us to keep our body and soul together. Whereas the para education is the superior transcendental knowledge which gets revealed to us from the chapter 2 onwards. We start coming to know about it. So we are going to try and finish A, B, and C today. It is 7:10 now. So by 8, I hope to finish the verses A, B, the sections A, B, and C, that is 2.1 to 2.10, when Arjuna will further talk about his doubts. And Krishna is a wonderful teacher. He's going to be listening very quietly to Arjuna as he will express all his doubts, and he will wait for Arjuna to ultimately surrender. And only then he takes on the position of a guru with a very sweet smile. Krishna, with a smile, he will start, because he knows now is the time for him to give the Gita. And then from 2.11 all the way to 2.30, we have Krishna will give basic jnana. Which is the jnana he will give? He will basically explain to Arjuna that there is no death for the soul. That whole section from 2.11 to 2.30 will be describing the soul, and however much we listen to it, it is not enough, because we never really understand with clarity, that we are not this body, we are the soul. It's a very difficult thing. We need repetition, especially with our Kali Yuga Buddhi, which is, much lesser than the other yugas. Then we will try and also cover 2.31 to 2.38, where Krishna uses the Karma Kanda references. That is, he tries to tell Arjuna about the gains and the losses that will happen. And in terms of kind of Karma Kanda, in terms of fruitive results, he actually, instead of, giving only transcendental, he will also from 31 to 38, try to explain what are going to be your gains and what are going to be your losses if you fight or if you don't fight. If you dutifully fight and if you don't fight, what are your losses? So that way, Krishna will use the Karmakanda method, that is fruitive activities method, to explain in section C. So we'll try and cover all of that now. So moving on to the first section, which is 2.1 to 2.10, where Arjuna is going to ask further his doubts, and then ultimately he is going to surrender. So 2.1 says, it starts with Sanjaya speaking. Sanjaya is saying, Sanjaya uvacha tan tatha kripaya vishtam ashrupurna purekshanam vishidantamidam vakyam uvacha madhusudanaha. So here Sanjaya is describing, and he's saying, and Krishna is seeing Arjuna lamenting like an ignorant man, and Krishna is going to respond. So Sanjaya is basically explaining how Arjuna has tam tatha kripaya vishtam ashrupurna kuleshanam. And then how what he's going to say to Madhusudana. Here is as a wonderful reference of Madhusudana. So the word Madhusudana is used here to show that Krishna is the killer of Madhu demon. So, Arjuna is going to destroy the doubts which have arisen in the mind of Arjuna. So that is why the word Madhusudan is of very special importance in this verse 2.1. In the material conception, we don't know where compassion should be applied. So compassion for the dress of a drowning man is senseless. So a man drowning in the ocean of nescience, right, a vidya or material world, he cannot be simply saved by rescuing his outer dress. One who is lamenting for his outer dress is like a Shudra. So Krishna is now going to dissipate the lamentation of Arjuna. And he's going to Arjuna has taken the position of an ignorant man for us to hear the Bhagavad Gita. So that is the basic introduction of chapter 2. So seeing Arjuna depressed, Lord Krishna is going to speak now. There's material compassion, lamentation, and tears. These are all signs of ignorance. Whereas the eternal soul, when he's in self-realization, it is like I just told you, the analogy of saving. When he's the eternal soul in self-realization, he is feeling a sense of compassion. A self-realized soul who is feeling compassion is compared to Arjuna here. And the analogy of saving the dress, like I just told you, there is a drowning man and somebody is going and saving the dress. That doesn't make sense. So chapter 2, basically Krishna is talking about the analytical study of the soul and the material body, and it is being explained by Krishna himself. So in verse 2.2, Bhagavan, Shri Bhagavan, that is, the person who has all the bhagas, he is going to speak. He will say, Kutastva kashmalamidam vishame samupasthitam anaryajushtama akirti karamarjuna. So here the Supreme Personality of Godhead is telling Arjuna, my dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? They are not at all befitting a man who knows the value of life. They lead not to higher planets, not to infamy. So here, very, to the point, Krishna will, kind of tell Arjuna what is his position, that, this position is not befitting you. You are a person who knows what is your duty. You're a person who is a Kshatriya and you're a highly elevated devotee. So he kind of tells him what is the matter, why is it that you are having this kind of doubt? So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, this kind of conception of the absolute truth is explained. Vadanti tat tattva vidas tattvam yaj jnanam adavyam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti shabdyate. So it means absolute truth is realized in three phases. First is the Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. So here we are talking about, when we start this verse, why is it that we are talking about Bhagavan Uvacha? So we are explaining the Sanskrit word Bhagavan and why Krishna is called Bhagavan, because he's a possessor of all the 6 bhagas, which is he is very rich, very powerful, very beautiful, very famous, very learned, and very much detached. And so no one can claim all of these. Some people may be good at some people will may be good at the others, but Krishna is the Lord, so that who have possesses all of these. So this understanding is really important. Only when somebody understands that Krishna is the Lord, only then the Bhagavad Gita will be able to be understood by anyone. So that is the first basic understanding. Now in verse 2.3, which goes Klaibyam masmagama partha naitatvayupapadyate kshudram hridaya dorbalyam yaktvotishtha parantapa. So in this verse, we can see Krishna saying, "O son of Pritha, do not yield to this degrading impotence. It does not become you. Give up such petty weakness of heart and arise, O chastiser of the enemy." So why is he saying that? Arjuna here is described as son of Pritha. Why is that so? It is to show the closeness of relationship. So Krishna's father, Vasudeva's own sister, is Arjuna's mother, Pritha or Kunti. Right? So then, every word there is some way of showing something related to the situation. So here Krishna is trying to show his close relationship, and therefore he is kind of guiding, telling Arjuna what to do and what he must not do. So Krishna is now telling Arjuna directly that does not fit your personality. It is actually just a sign of petty weakness of the heart. And then we have Arjuna speaking next. Arjuna is going to start speaking in verse 2.4. Arjuna says, he continues, talking about why he doesn't want to fight. So he's continuing on the same story. He says, Katham Bhishma Maham Sankhe Dronancha Madhusudana Ishubhe Pratiyotsyami Pujar Havari Sudana. So Arjuna is saying, "Oh killer of enemies, oh killer of Madhu," once more trying to show that you have to kill all my doubts. How can I counterattack with arrows in a battle? People like Bhishma and Drona. So these are the main two people. You can imagine, the Bhishma is like his grandsire in whose lap he has played and grown up. He has learned so much from Bhishma. In the presence of Bhishma, you feel super protected. He is like such a loving great grandsire. And Drona, and he was a favorite student of Drona. How can he raise weapons against that teacher who gave him everything he knows today, and who's he was a favorite student of that teacher. So he's kind of wondering, Krishna, you are like you're a Madhusudana, you're the killer of demons, and now you're asking me to kill such wonderful people as Bhishma and Drona. You are a killer of demons, and this is what you're asking me to do. So he's saying, he's like again and again trying different ways to tell Krishna that I don't want to be doing this. He's trying to express that it's so difficult for him to do this. And he said it would be better for me to live in the world by begging than to live at the cost of lives of such great souls as my grandsire and my teacher. So even though, desiring worldly gain, they are superiors. Even though, actually Bhishma and Dronacharya, they should have taken the side of the Pandavas. But just because they felt that they have been eating, taking the food, or they have been living off the palace, they feel they should support the Kuru, the Kauravas. They feel that that is where their loyalty lies. Whereas actually, the truly they should have supported being on the righteous side. That's where they should have been. So even though they are actually desiring, he's saying that they are desiring worldly gain. That is, they are, considering the relationship due to food more important than a fight for righteousness. Still, so here he is pointing out that they are actually doing in the wrong, but still they are my superiors. And if they are killed, then everything we enjoy will be tainted with blood. So again, he's talking about the sin that is going to happen if he will kill them. And in verse 2.6, he says, we do not know which is better. Is it better to conquer them or being conquered by them? So here we come across the next important reason that he gives, which is that he is in complete indecision. He's totally lost. He doesn't know what it is that he has to do. And this is the most important verse, 2.7, where Arjuna ultimately surrenders. Now, if we don't come to this state of ultimate surrender, then we are not going to be understanding the Bhagavad Gita. So we need to understand this particular verse very, very clearly so that we understand what it is, what is a mood required to understand the Gita. So Arjuna says, कार्पण्य दोषोपहत स्वभाव पृच्छामि त्वां धर्म सम्मूढ चेता यच्छ्रेयस्यानिश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेऽहं शाधि मां त्वां प्रपन्नम्. So Arjuna is saying that he is now filled with miserly weakness. He says that it's because that I'm totally confused. I have lost all my composure. Karpanya dosha is weakness. Upahata swabhava, all, I'm just losing all my composure. Prichhami, I'm asking, Tvam, unto you. Dharma sammudha, I am bewildered. Sammudha means bewildered. Cheta, in my heart. Yat shreya, tell me what is good. Shreya means good. And Nishchitam, with full confidence, just tell me, declare and tell me what I'm supposed to. Bruhi, tell me. And he says, Shishyate aham, I am your disciple. Shadhimam, please just instruct me. Tvam prapannam, I am surrendered unto you. So he's saying that now I'm thoroughly confused about my duty. So in his heart of hearts, he knows his duty. That's why he's saying that I'm thoroughly confused. And he says, so I am your disciple and I'm a soul surrendered. So he says, please instruct me. So when we come to open this Bhagavad Gita, which is non-different from Krishna, we have to come in the same mode, that, oh Krishna, please, I'm surrendered. Please instruct me. Please tell me what it is that I need to understand from this Bhagavad Gita. Please instruct me. So in all the way from the next few verses 5 to 7, he has been continuing to give reasons for not fighting. He says that, by nature's way, material activities, kripanas, misers, so sources of perplexity. So forest fire, that is this whole material world is like a forest fire, and they are the sources of all our perplexities. The Maya of this world is a source of all our perplexities. And material activities are happening only because of the three modes. And kripanas or misers are the ones who, in spite of knowing, that what is, they know what is to be large-hearted, but then they forget what is their real interest. But so they are bound by the skin disease. What is skin disease? Those who are overly affectionate to my family, my society, my country, they are bothered about their relationships. And that is actually because of, again, lust. There is some kind of a material sense gratification which happens when you cater to your family, your society, your country. You need to rise above that, the Vasudeva Kutumbakam, where the whole world is a family and everybody's father is God, and that kind of emotion of large-heartedness. And then the emotion that I need to do what the Lord wants me to do. I need to follow the dharma because Krishna is the original superior master. That kind of surrender is needed so that the big forest fire is put to end. And that is why self-realization is what a person who has surrendered to the bona fide master will take up, because this bona fide master is a representation of Krishna, the original personality of Godhead. So 2.11 all the way to 2.30, we are going to study how there is no death for the soul, and therefore, Krishna asks Arjuna to fight. So in 2.11, we begin with Krishna speaking. Krishna is saying, Shri Bhagavan Vacha Ashochanan Vashochastvam Prajnavadamscha Bhashase Gatasu na gatasuncha nanushocanti panditaha. So he's saying that although you're speaking all such learned words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. So, those who are wise, they don't lament for the living or for the dead. So what is Krishna trying to say? He's again trying to bring Arjuna to the real position that you need to understand that this, whatever you're grieving for is not worth grieving. But somebody who is wise, who knows that you're not this body, that you're actually the soul, will not mourn at all. He's saying that you're talking like a learned man, but you do not know that one who is learned will never mourn or lament for the body. So this is the position which Krishna begins explaining to Arjuna in 2.11. So as a spiritual master, Krishna is actually chastising or scolding Arjuna. This is what he's saying. You're talking like a learned man, but it's what you're sounding is like a fool. Spiritually, it's a fool who will talk like that, who will grieve for the soul. Because the learned man knows the difference between matter and spirit. And Krishna is a person who controls both. So he clearly says in chapter 7 several times that the energies, superior and inferior energies are both part of him. And the learned man, he knows that there is a difference between body and soul. It's not like how the Buddhists, the Buddhist philosophy or the Mayavadi philosophy, who think that when the body dies, then the soul simply vanishes. So that is not the true knowledge. He knows the difference. He does not lament when the body, is dead or alive, because he knows that the soul is continuing on his journey. And the body is born and is anyway is born and destined to vanquish, whereas the soul has no birth. It's always been there. So that is why Krishna is chastising Arjuna that you're talking and beginning, like a very learned person, but actually you're sounding like a fool in the spiritual understanding or in spiritual knowledge. In verse 2.12, Krishna is saying, never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these things, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. So this is a very important verse. It says, Natve vaham jatu nasam natvam neme janadhipaha nachaiva na bhavishyama sarve vayamatah param. So this is a kind of, true hate for those who believe in Mayavadi. Because here Krishna clearly says that never was there a time when I, as an individual, Supreme Personality of Godhead, did not exist, or you, that is the individual you, or all these kings, the individual kings, they have all been the same way in future, past, and there's never been a time when they have not been there. So this kind of, is kind of beating the Mayavadi theory that that a person, that when the soul is released, it will merge with God and become one with God. So that is a totally misleading conception. And in this verse, actually, if you study the verse carefully, Srila Prabhupada has clearly explained to us that somebody who is envious only will be taking such kind of lessons. And if somebody goes with this kind of understanding, that is a non-devotee's approach, it's as if it's a bee licking a outer bottle cover. Only when you really understand and accept that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, I am a soul surrendered and my duty is to do service to the Lord. Only then you start enjoying the Gita and Bhagavatam, and that's when you start enjoying the nectar or the honey which is in the bottle, and that's when you will really get addicted to learning the spiritual knowledge. You will never miss out on any chance to listen to the Gita or Bhagavatam. You will keep on searching for devotee association. All the A, B, C, D, you will try to go for everything. A for association, B for books, C for chanting, D for diet. You will follow all of that because that's going to be giving you such immense bliss. And then in 2.13 onwards, the real knowledge of the soul begins. From 2.13 to 2.30, it's all about the soul. And listening to it is never adequate. You have to just keep listening because the repetition is needed. That is why this is going on being repeated. We can't internalize it unless we listen to it again and again. So in 2.13, Krishna says, Dehi nosmin yatha dehi kaumaram yovanam jara tatha dehantara praptir dhiras tatra namuhyati. So, we are all actually conditioned souls, and as our existence depends upon certain conditions only, mainly birth, death, disease, and old age. So, we need to be eating, we need to take shelter, we are afraid. All these are different needs which are there, and the modes are actually consuming us. So, we are kind of victimized by all these lower modes. So, we plan to get rid of the conditions, and the plan is also, it's a condition. It's like being anti-Krishna. So this body, actually, the embodied soul is passing through from boyhood to youth to old age. Similarly, the soul is passing from one body to another. Just like, for example, a small child first starts using a tricycle, then a bicycle, then a scooter, then a car, and so on. So it is very important to understand that once you become sober, you will not be bewildered by these changes of the body which takes place, whereas the soul, there is no change at all. So in 2.14, Krishna says, Matra sparshasnu konteya shitoshna sukha dukkada agama payano nityastam titikshasva bharata. So he's saying that this is again a very important verse which is kind of asking us to tolerate. So we know again, while coming back to Shishtashtrakam, which is my favorite, there is Trinadapi Suni Chena Tarorapi Sahishnuna. Krishna is asking, us, that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in that verse, says that we cannot chant, we cannot chant and we cannot take to Krishna consciousness unless you become humble like the grass, upon which people stamp and walk. Or you cannot get the spiritual knowledge, you cannot start chanting unless you become tolerant like a tree. So you understand that all these happiness, distress, it's just like a passing of winter, summer seasons, and they are just good as just as you don't really want, sometimes happiness comes even though you're not seeking it, or sometimes something sad happens even though you're not seeking it. So these will anyway keep appearing and disappearing. So person who has reached the Sitadir Muni, which we will learn at the end of chapter 2, the state of equanimity, he will not be bothered by all this. These arise only because of a material sense perception, and so one needs to tolerate them without being disturbed. Why? Because only when you reach that stage of tolerating all these impermanent things and start really understanding what is permanent, can devotional service begin. In fact, person can take to inoffensive chanting only when he starts, being in a state of equanimity. So that is why Krishna advises us to be tolerant, like the tree. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asks us to be tolerant like the tree. In 2.15, Yam hina vyathayanti purusham purushashava samadukha sukham dhiram so amritatvaya kalpate. Again, Krishna is saying that one who is not disturbed by happiness and distress is steady in both, is the person who is eligible for liberation. So here we are talking about a person is in steady determination. He is steady in his determination. That is, it doesn't matter whether he's got distress or happiness in his life. Coming to the next one, the verse, this is again really important, 2.16, which says, Na sato vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate satah, ubhayorapi drishtontas, varnayos tattva darshibhi. So here in this verse, Krishna tells us that those who are true seers of the truth, they have concluded that of the non-existent body, that is the material body, is as if it's non-existence. Why? Because it is impermanent. For that, there is no endurance. That is, it doesn't last. It's impermanent. Whereas the soul, which is eternal, there is no change. It never changes. So this is concluded by the study and nature of both by the highly elevated, people, devotees. So that is, this knowledge which we call para is auparisya. It doesn't come from human. It's actually coming from God Himself, right? That's why we say that Bhagavad Gita is Bhagavan's song. The Lord is telling us that. So in 2.17, again very important, Avinashi tu tadvidhi yena sarvamidam tatam vinashamavyayasasya na kaschit kartum arhati. So it says that this small, soul, which is we know that the size of the soul is a tip of the hair, which is divided into 1,000, again divided into 1,000. Such a tiny spiritual atom, which is even smaller than the material atom, which has control over the entire body, their entire consciousness, pervading the whole soul, it is indestructible. No one can actually destroy this soul at all. So all this he's actually slowly leading Arjuna to understand that he is not going to be killing, by killing, he's doing his duty, and he's not going to actually be killing the person, the individual particle or spirit soul. It is never going to be killed. It's just, it cannot be. That's what he's continuously trying to tell him, that it is imperishable. It's indestructible. So he's going on repeating and explaining it in so many different ways. The material body of the indestructible, immeasurable, eternal living entity is sure to come to an end. The body will surely come to an end anyway. So it's your duty now to fight. And he will give now many more explanations. I won't jump and say all of them right now. He's telling them very systematically, one by one. Arjuna is explaining about how this body is destructible, whereas the material body is destructible, whereas the eternal living entity which is there in the body is indestructible and immeasurable. Material body of the indestructible, immeasurable, eternal living entity, the body is sure to come to an end. Therefore, you have to fight. And then in 2.19, Krishna says, Ya enam veti hantaram yaschenam manyate hatam ubhautav na vijanito na yam hanti na hanyate. So Arjuna here is being engaged in killing. But we need to understand, we need to really keep on reminding ourselves when people say that what is this Gita? It is basically just teaching person to fight. And actually, you should be able to reply to that, saying that Arjuna is not being engaged in killing just whimsically. He is following the principle of religion or dharma. He is doing it because according to his Kshatriya dharma, he has to do it. And they had actually reached the last stage. And we know about the 6 aggressors who can be killed, and Duryodhana has done all 6 of them. So it is a very righteous war. And therefore, there is no question about it being, something which is violence, because this is violence which is spiritual, much needed in the human society. This kind of violence in terms of war is extremely necessary. That's what we come to know over here. In 2.20, this is very important verse. I'm saying it's for every verse you must be thinking. But yes, most of these verses are really important. You can learn them all up. Please start learning up these verses. They're very nice to memorize and keep remembering. It goes like this. न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचिन्नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूय अजो नित्यः शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे. So Krishna is saying that for the soul, there is neither birth nor death at any time. The body is subject to 6 kinds of transformations. What are the 6 kinds of transformations? The body will have to have, first it will take birth, then it will stay the same for some time, then it will grow a little more, then it will produce some changes, like for example, it may reproduce, then it will slowly dwindle into old age, and then it will vanish. The body will be like no more. So the body undergoes 6 kinds of transformations, but the soul, it has no birth nor death at any time. It has not come into being or something, nor is it going to come into being, or or it will not be in being, nothing like that. The soul is always there. So this is so important to understand. We fail to understand that this particular body we are having is a small chapter in a long journey of the soul. So once we understand that, lots of things, we put everything in perspective once we understand that. It's so sad that we don't teach this to children or to schools and colleges. They get only apara jnana, which is a lower material knowledge. We fail to tell them, that you are actually the spirit soul. It's just a small chapter, and and there is a long journey. And then you explain to these children. They need to know that we get this human body after 8 lakh, how many species is that? 8 million, 84 lakh species. So 8,400,000 species. So we have to go through so many forms, and then we are getting this. And even that, we get this knowledge after Bahunam Janmanam. So after so many births, only this knowledge is coming to us. And when it comes to us, what should we do? We have to simply understand our position as a servitor of the Lord, as somebody whose duty is to simply surrender to the Lord. This is what we need to. This is a small thing which is the whole essence of the entire Gita. And how do we keep remembering that? By chanting. So we need to constantly chant. Chanting is very, very important, especially if we do it in the Brahma mode. That is how we can keep on reminding ourselves that we are this eternal soul, and our duty is to be, surrendered to Krishna. This we need to keep on reminding. The soul, we can see in this verse, Krishna says that it is unborn, it is eternal, it is ever existing, it is primeval, and it knows, actually, the soul knows that its dharma, its true ego is its position in terms of being a part and parcel of the Lord himself. Qualitatively, we are the same as the Lord in terms of all the qualities, but quantitatively, we are very, very minuscule and minute. This understanding has to come. And the soul is not slain, even when the body is slain. In fact, we will be reading how the soul is existing everywhere. It's there everywhere the soul is existing. So there is no spot, whether it is the sun or the moon or anywhere. In all places, there is entities. The soul is present. In 2.21, Krishna is talking about, he says, Veda vinashinam nityam ya enam ajamavyayam katham sa purusha partha kam ghatayati hantikam. So here he says, oh Partha, how can a person who knows that the soul is indestructible, eternal, unborn, and immutable kill anyone or cause anyone to be killed? So here Krishna is talking about, that a person who is in true knowledge will, in the first place, he knows that the soul is indestructible, unborn, and he knows that it cannot be killed. So nobody is therefore a killer, or nobody is being killed also. So this, understanding Krishna is sharing with Arjuna. And then this is a famous verse which says, Vasamsi jirna yathaya vihaya navani grihnani naroparani tatha sharirani vihaya jirnanyanyani samyati navani dehi. So it's being compared to Vasansi jirnani, garments which are old and worn out. So, just as a person will wear new garments, when the ones he's wearing becomes old, he just leaves them. Similarly, the soul will take on the new material bodies whenever it becomes old and useless. So this concept is really important. And here we have in the purport, Srila Prabhupada talks about the two bird analogy. So it is given in the we know about the soul size and the Shvetasvatara Upanishad. And we also know about it that we know that the birds, the two friendly birds is an analogy comparing one of the bird to the individual atomic soul, and the other bird to Krishna. So both these birds are same in quality, but one of them is captivated by this material world, it's eating the fruits, and the other one is witnessing all the activities. So Krishna is actually the witnessing bird, or the Paramatma. Paramatma is an expansion of Krishna. And he is sitting there and he's constantly watching. And why is it that the atomic soul is, unable to see what is his true position? Because he has forgotten his relationship with the super soul. That is why the jiva is actually struggling very hard in the material body. Simply what he needs to do is turn towards Krishna, which he is not doing. So this comparison of the two birds is there. And then there is again this lovely verse which says, Nainam chindanti shastrani Nainam dahati pavaka na chainam kledayantyafo na shoshayati marutaha. So the soul can never be cut into pieces by any weapon. It cannot be moistened by water, nor it can be burned by fire, nor it can be withered by the wind. So these are just again qualities. Again in 2.24, Krishna is saying, Achedyoyam adahyoyam akledyoyam ashosham evacha nityah sarvagata sthano rachaloyam sanatanaha. So again, so many more properties, like the soul is unbreakable, insoluble, it can neither be burned nor dried, it is everlasting, it is present everywhere, like I just told you, whether even in the sun, inside the sun, there are these entities. We are not aware of it. And it is and the soul is unchangeable, it's immovable, and it is eternally the same. So these properties, they help us to simply understand soul better, and they're repeated in the Vedas, in different ways, just to confirm the stability of our understanding of the conception of the soul. And it's very important because this is basically where spiritual life begins. This repetition is needed for us to understand the matter thoroughly without any error. The super soul is actually fulfilling the desire of the soul. It's like a friend who fulfills the desire of another. So both are sitting in there. They are the soul and the super soul are present within each of our hearts. And in 2.26, so let's move to 2.25. In 2.25, we are seeing again avyaktoyam avyaktoyam achintyoyam avikaryoyam uchyate tasmadevam viditvainam nanushochatumadhasi. So here we are coming to know how inconceivable. We can't conceive, what the soul is like. That is why the scientists are unable to really understand or discover or experiment with the soul, because it is inconceivable. It is immutable and invisible. It can't be seen. So there is no way that the material people who are looking through their material senses will ever be able to understand what is a soul. They will be all the time like the Buddhist philosophers and the Vaibhashika theory, where they feel that the body is just a bulk of chemicals, and when the body will end, the Atma will vanish. So that is a lower intelligence way of thinking, the Mayavadi way of thinking. And then in superior understanding is that the soul is all these things, invisible, inconceivable, immutable. And that's why the Gita is telling us all this. So again, in 2.24, as we have seen from 2.24, 25, 26, all these are continuously telling us about the different characteristics of the soul, which we have already gone through. So in 2.26, Krishna says, Atha chainam nitya jatam nityam va manyase mritam tathapitam mahabaho nainam shochitum adhasi. So Krishna says that actually, if you think that the soul or the symptoms of life will always be born and die forever, you still have no reason to lament. So he's continuously trying to tell Arjuna that there is actually no reason for you to be lamenting. There's no reason for you to be, whether you're a believer of the soul or a non-believer of the soul, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. There's no reason to feel lament. And then he says in 2.27, Krishna says, Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityur dhruvam janma mritasya cha tasmada pariharyerthe natvam shochitum arhasi. So it is that one who has taken birth is sure to die. And after death, again birth is supposed to happen. So you have to discharge your duty. You don't have to lament. So the circle of birth and death is going to anyway happen. However, in this context, we need to understand that unnecessary murder is condemned. In any scripture, Srimad Bhagavatam also, we have detailed chapter, about all these chapters, about all these kind of consequences of doing unnecessary murder. So here it is very clear that this is a righteous murder. It's happening in Dharmakshetra, Kurukshetra. And therefore, violence and war should be understood are inevitable in human society for keeping law and order. So it is a dharma yuddha. It's not just, putting an end to lives, in a whimsical manner. So this I'm constantly repeating because we need to remember that Krishna is asking Arjuna to fight a dharma yuddha and to actually do his duty. It's not let whimsically go and kill because the soul is, anyway, it's going to, it's permanent and the body is only going to die. So he's not doing that. He's actually motivating him to do his duty and to do his in the varnashrama where he stands as a kshatriya, what he's supposed to do, he's supposed to do that. That's it. And not supposed to be lamenting. There is no need for him to lament. In 2.28, Krishna is saying that all the created beings are unmanifest in the beginning and they will manifest in the middle. And again, they will become unmanifest in the end. So he's saying, therefore, again, he's saying, there is no need to lament and cry or anything. Because this whole cycle will go on. How will it go on? Let's look at the cycle. So philosophers are anyway going to be of two types. Some of them are going to believe in the existence of soul and some of them are not going to believe in the existence of the soul. It doesn't matter whether they believe or they don't believe. It doesn't matter. What is the reality, the eternal truth? It stays the same forever. So the material existence, how does it work, right? The material world, how does it happen? First of all, before the creation, the entire material world is there in the unmanifested stage. How is it there? First, it begins with how does the creation, then how does the creation to material stage happen? First, there will be ether, which is the most subtle. Then from ether comes the little more less subtle air, and then the fire, then water, then earth, and then all the material, the different creations will happen. And then after that, again, there'll be annihilation. So one may ask, why is this whole system there? Why is there all this creation, annihilation? What is the purpose of all this? So we already know the soul comes into the material conception only because of a false ego, because we get this material body as soon as we feel envious of the Lord and as soon as we have done something which is, improper in the spiritual world. We have kind of desired to be separate. It's only that immediately we have to fall into this material world. And then we have to take all these 84 lakh species, different forms, and then we get the human form. And at last, we are in a position to understand that we are really the spirit soul and we actually belong to the spiritual world. And that understanding has to come. Now, why is this manifestation and creation and annihilation happening continuously? That is because, at some point there's a tolerance level and then everything gets annihilated. And when it gets annihilated, nothing changes actually. Whichever state everybody is, they stay still like that. And then when once more manifestation happens, it begins from wherever it has ended. Only the liberated souls who have understood their real position in terms of servitorship of the Lord, they enter the spiritual world and they become free from this whole cycle of manifestation and unmanifestation once you reach the spiritual world. The material world, it is all there. So anyway, what Krishna is saying is all this whole cycle is going on and there is no need for you to lament about it. Now let's look at verse 2.29, where we are going to be studying about the word Ashcharya. The Ashcharya word is going to be repeated again and again. The verse goes, Ashcharyavat pashyati kashyadenam Ashcharyavat vadati tathaiva chanyaha Ashcharyavat shainamanyah shrunoti Shrutvapyenam vedana chaiva kaschit. So it's talking about how the soul is very amazing to see, to describe, or to hear. So see means experience. For some people, they will look at the soul, and the looking is with amazement. And the people who are looking also are amazing because very few people can start understanding the soul. And some of them who are looking at the soul, and that particular soul they're looking at is obviously extremely amazing. So this is entirely related to the looking. The looking is amazing. The people who are looking, they are also extremely rare. Most people will not be, able to see or understand what the soul is. And the soul, of course, is amazing. Similarly, hearing. Some people will hear about the amazing soul. It's amazing that they're hearing about the soul. They get an opportunity very rarely. Some people who are amazing, the people who are able to get this opportunity are also amazing. And the soul itself, of course, is amazing. Why is it amazing? Again, describing also similarly, right? Describing the soul, when you keep on describing it, people are amazed. And the people who get amazed are also amazing because it's very rare. And some people describe the soul, which is amazing. Why is it amazing? Because a small, atomic size soul is the same one which is present, whether it's in a microbe or a huge elephant or in a baby or in a huge banyan tree. It's all the same soul. It's really amazing to understand that. And some people, like they think that the soul is only there in human beings and the animals and birds and plants have no soul. That's why they feel nothing to kill and eat them up. But actually, Krishna is clearly saying that he is present in every living entity as the super soul of Paramatma, and every living entity has a jivatma, it has a soul. So in this next verse, Krishna says, which verse are we in? We are in verse text 30. He says, O descendant of Bharata, he who dwells in the body can never be slain. Therefore, you need not grieve for any living entity. So Krishna is saying in verse 2.30 that though the soul is immortal, we need to understand again that though soul is immortal, violence is not encouraged. At war, it is needed. So this need is justified in terms of sanction of the Lord. It's not capriciously that it is being done. So this topic, one who possesses the body, is Dehi. So we can look at this verse, 2.30. The verse begins with Dehi. It says, Dehi nityamavadhyuyam dehe sarvasya bharata tasmat sarvani bhutani natvam shochitum arhasi. So Dehi is basically the person who possesses the Deha, which is the body, which is the soul. So Dehi means soul. Just like Guni is one who possesses gunas. So that is Guni. And this whole thing has begun from 2.13 with the verse Dehinosmin Yatha Dehe. Again, we saw about Na Hanyate Hanyamane Sharire. So the conclusion is again and again that this whole thing, that the soul is immutable. This whole section is only talking about how the soul is immutable. And that the soul and the super soul are actually have been going through all these 84 lakh or 8,400,000 forms of life. And for all of them, Krishna is the father and material nature is the mother. So it is, a person who is wise, they find no difference. Right? So Vidya Vinaya Sampanne in verse 5.18 we see Brahmane Gavi Hastani. So whether it is a cow or whether it's a dog, whether it's a Brahmana, the person who is wise is able to see it equally. And this slaying thing, it's like the judge. The judge may pass the order of killing someone. But it's rightful thing because a person who has done some grave crime like murdering, when that person is killed legally, lawfully, then he actually, that the sin is quite washed away. He doesn't have to go through a lot of sin because he has got that he is being killed in return. So that's actually a good thing that is happening. So the knife, for example, can be used by someone to murder, but at the same time, the surgeon, when he uses it, he is using it to save someone. So we can see all these different perspectives when we are talking about the soul. Next verse is, so analogy here is unnecessary violence is not justified. It's not encouraged. Judge is awarding capital punishment. Surgeon is performing the thing. So now let's look at 2.31 all the way to 2.38. Quickly we'll do it. We have just 5 minutes, but we'll do it fast. It's about Karma Kanda, which talks about how it talks about the gains. Karma Kanda means the gains in terms of material winning and losing, and what are you going to get by fighting? What are you going to lose if you don't fight? So this is what we're going to see in this verse 2.31. So 2.31 is mainly going to talk about Kshatriya Dharma. What is Kshatriya? It is actually second order in the four social orders of the Varnas. Kshat means harm and Trayate means to give protection. So why was killing in the battlefield and killing animals in a sacrificial fire, not considered violence? The answer is it's because it is for the benefit of everyone. The animal actually, in those days when the animal used to get sacrificed, they actually got a human life immediately without undergoing the evolutionary process. Similarly, a Kshatriya, when he gets killed in the battle, he immediately attains heavenly planets. And even the Brahmanas who are offering the sacrifice, they also get the heavenly planets. So that is what we are going to be looking here. Krishna is talking here. He is saying that considering your duty as a Kshatriya, you should know that there is no better engagement for you than fighting on religious principles. And so there is actually no need for you to hesitate. So we all have basically a Swadharma, which is a duty as per our Varnashrama. And we have Sanatan Dharma, which is a duty for understanding the highest truth. The Swadharma basically, has when it's a liberated stage, it has, it's in the spiritual kind of perception. There is no bodily concept. And whereas one who is in the conditional stage, he needs to follow the Swadharma properly, the Varnashrama Dharma, the prescribed duties, which are again the stepping stone to reaching the same spiritual understanding. So the conditional people they are conditioned by the three modes of material nature. They will progress towards liberation by doing their Swadharma, which is the Varnashrama Dharma or the prescribed duties. So that is what this verse 2.31 is saying. And ultimately, both, whether you're doing a Swadharma in a conditioned state of mind or whether you've already elevated, you are anyway reaching that spiritual concept of life, which is not the bodily or the material concept. Performing Swadharma is basically discharging your specific duties, which will elevate you to the higher platform. And Lord Krishna, he does not, he's not supporting artificial renunciation, and he's saying that you need to go through all those duties and do them. And then, the sannyas will happen much later. And you can, with bhakti, you can reach the highest stage without even having to go through all that. Because there is no duty or dharma for one who has reached the highest level of bhakti. Now in 2.32, Krishna is saying that, O Partha, happy are Kshatriyas whom such fighting opportunities come. It's actually opening the door of heaven to them. You must be knowing that in the battlefield, every single warrior was able to see Krishna. Krishna gave them darshan before they died, and they all got Sayuja Mukti. So that is amazing part about, people who are dying in the battlefield, especially Kurukshetra in that Mahabharata war. It was opening the door of heaven to them. In 2.33, we can see Krishna says, if you don't perform your duty, then you're going to get sin. If you think that by killing you're going to get sin, you just be mindful that it is the other way around. Don't perform your duty, you're going to be getting sin, and moreover, you will lose your reputation. So here he's using all the karma kanda tactics. He's trying to tell him about what is he going to lose in terms of material gains. He's saying that people are going to make fun of you, and they're going to not say that, oh, Arjuna was such a great man, he walked off the war because he was so compassionate. On the other hand, Krishna directly, bluntly tells him on the face that you are a respectable person, and dishonor is going to be worse than death for you. Everyone may be knowing the story of Dhruva Maharaj. So Dhruva, he was a small boy when he was, not allowed to sit on his father's lap like his stepbrother. That that dishonor he could not tolerate. When his mother told him, you can go and find Krishna is the only person who can help you, he goes off into the forest and goes through so much of austerity. So that Kshatriya, person who has got the true Kshatriya quality, he will not be able to tolerate dishonor. Dishonor for him will be worse than even death. So that is what Krishna is reminding him and warning him. He says that Krishna is again warning him, says the great generals who have highly esteemed your name and fame, they will think that, oh, ye to darpok hai, he's just afraid and he ran away. And then they're going to consider you insignificant. And actually, Arjuna is got so many, blessings and astras from so many demigods. He got the Pashupati Astra from Shiva, and from so many other, when he had gone to the heavens for some time, he got a lot of things, and all those are going to be kind of put to waste. They all were leading to this great war, and he's supposed to use them. So he's going to be, putting them all to waste by not using them. Here, Krishna says in 2.35 that the great generals who have highly esteemed your name and fame, they will think that you ran out of fear. In 2.36, Krishna says that your enemies will describe you in unkind words, they will scorn your ability, and that's going to be very, very painful for you. That is what all these verses are saying, and ultimately, Krishna is therefore saying that if you're going to win the war, you will get earthly kingdom. And if you lose, or suppose you die in the battlefields, he is not going to. But for instance, if you do, then because you have died a battle of dharma, a dharma yudh, and because you've done what as a kshatriya, your dharma, you will get the heavenly planet. So what is the loss? Anyway, it's going to be gain for you. You're going to enjoy either the earthly kingdom or you're going to enjoy the heavenly kingdom. So therefore, get up and be determined and fight. And in 2.38, Krishna says, Sukha dukhe same kritva labha labho jaya jayo tato yudhaya yujyasva naivam papam avapsasa. So you fight for the sake of fighting. So this 2.38 is very important. Krishna is directly saying, get up, fight for the sake of fighting, because Krishna, the Lord, is desiring you to fight. Simple. Why? Because Krishna's only purpose is to do paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya dushkritam. All these warriors, like I told you in last week also, they all are adharmic. They are not dharmic people. These kings, who are there on the opposite side supporting Kauravas, they are all not on dharma side anyway. And they are not doing their duty of teaching dharma to the people. The duty of a king is to make the people do their duties and to teach them the, dharma or spiritual knowledge, which they are not doing at that time. That's why Krishna wanted to end them all. It was his Krishna's will. And Rakhe Krishna Mare Krishna Rakhe ke. If Krishna desires, there is no way it can be stopped. So in when you do something in Krishna consciousness, that is transcendental or higher race consciousness, there is no consideration of happiness, distress, personal profit, personal gain, personal victory, personal defeat. Such things should not come, because then that work that you do becomes akarma, which will have no reaction. So one who acts for his own sense gratification, whether it is Rajogun or whether it is Sattvagun, whatever, he is subject to reaction. But one who has surrendered his activities to Krishna consciousness is no longer obliged to anyone. He is a debtor to no one. That's a very amazing thought, which has been described in verse 11.5.41 of Srimad Bhagavatam and Narada's teaching to Vasudeva, where Narada is saying that he says, Devarshi bhutaptanunam pitrinam na kinkaro nayam rincha rajan sarvatmanayah sharanam sharanyam gato mukunda parihritya kartam. So he's saying that one who has given up all attachment to material duties and who's taken the shelter of the lotus feet of Mukunda, who offers shelter to all. Mukunda is the one who is offering shelter to all. He is not indebted to anyone. Demigods, sages, living beings, relatives, mankind, nothing. It's just like, we keep looking at this analogy. It's like the watering of the tree's root. When you're offering your devotional service to Krishna, there is no need to go separately to please all the demigods, because they will automatically get pacified, because you're offering to the highest Lord. So since all such classes of living entities are part and parcel of, all these demigods or everybody, whether your ancestors, they're all part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, there's no need to offer separately your devotional service to them. So several indirect hints are being given in this verse, very important verse. Krishna is giving a lot of indirect hints, trying to tell Arjuna why he should get up and fight. He says, fight, come on, for the sake of fighting, not considering distress, loss, gain, or victory or defeat, because by doing so, you shall never incur sin. So with that, we finish today's class. Hare Krishna, everybody. I hope I have done justice in discussing this verse. Does anybody have any sharing? My video is going off every time. Does anybody have anything to share? Hare Krishna. I've taken 10 minutes more. Sorry about that. Anybody would like to share something, or you have any suggestions or reflections? Hare Krishna. No? Okay, please join tomorrow in that case. Please be with me tomorrow. And we will complete this chapter 2. There are very important verses in the second half of chapter 2. And please do the quizzes. I would like if some of you actually would turn on your video and share something. Yeah. Thank you, Jalpa Mataji. Thank you so much. Anybody would, if you turn on your video and share something or add on to something I've said or share some reflection, it would be nice. I hope that you will stay with me till all the 18 chapters, and you are, more open to sharing in due course of time, because we need to be, a little bit, we should be even speaking to each other, rather than, it's not like level 1 where you just hear the lecture and go. You can share, come prepared. Actually, you're supposed to form these groups, the Bhakti Vrikshas. Have you done that? Are you aware of the Bhakti Vriksha formations? You need to get into small groups and try to find time to read the purports in detail. Hare Krishna. So we need some Bhakti Vriksha leaders among you, and you have to form a separate WhatsApp group and decide on a time, and you haven't done that. Yeah. So actually level 2, it's not about only attending these 2 days in the week classes where we try to go through every verse, but it's about going through the purports in detail. So you need to get into smaller groups. It's called Bhakti Vriksha. It's very powerful concept of Srila Prabhupada, where the devotees get into little groups and they read in detail together. Every day they spend even 15-20 minutes, they come together and read. So I request you to take leadership, and maybe there can be, since you are about 15 now in the class, there can be like 3 groups of 5 each. The groups have to be small so that you can fix up a time together, and then you can just read every day, or maybe 3 days a week at least, come together and read together. So next class, I hope we can begin by finalizing the Bhakti Vriksha groups, and where you can come together and read the purports. Now we finished chapter 1 fully and chapter 2 half. So you need to catch up, need to read all the purports, because the understanding of Bhagavad Gita comes when you keep on reading Srila Prabhupada's purports. You have to go on reading that. I can see some messages in the chat. All right. So anyway, I'll end the class now. Next class, we will talk more about the Bhakti Vriksha, and we will finish tomorrow the chapter 2. Hare Krishna, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. I'm ending the class today.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. See you tomorrow, same
Hare
time.
Krishna
Hare
Mataji.
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna Mataji.
We'll complete the chapter 2, the very important parts tomorrow.
Hare Krishna Mataji.